Welcome to your roadmap to the latest in auto. Welcome to Highway Herald. Today, we're diving into the world of electric vehicles. EV manufacturers have been making all sorts of promises, from low maintenance costs to easy repairs and even battery swaps. But the reality has been quite different. Electric cars have proven to be not only less reliable, but also incredibly expensive to repair. So much so that damaged EVs often end up in junkyards. Let's explore the top 5 reasons why. Reason number 5. The scarcity of skilled mechanics increases repair costs. EV manufacturers have been touting the low running costs of their vehicles. They claim that EVs, being simpler than internal combustion engine cars, are easier and cheaper to fix. They also argue that EVs should be more reliable. However, our experience with EVs has shown us that this is far from the truth. In fact, they are significantly more expensive to repair than ICE cars. The primary reason? A severe shortage of trained professionals. In almost every market worldwide, there's a dearth of mechanics trained to work on electric cars. In the UK, for instance, only 10% of all mechanics are licensed to work on battery electric cars. As the number of EVs on the market increases, this problem is only getting worse. Some sources suggest that the UK will be short of 35,000 trained professionals by 2035 when ICE cars are expected to be banned. This is a classic case of supply and demand. With a constant shortage of skilled labor, it's no surprise that repair costs are skyrocketing. So, if you're an EV owner, your first challenge is to find a skilled mechanic licensed to work on electric vehicles. But even if you do, you're in for a shock when you compare the average repair prices of ICE cars and electric vehicles. The difference is staggering. High repair costs can be attributed to several factors. Firstly, the complexity of the technology. Electric cars come with intricate electrical systems like batteries, inverters, and motors. Secondly, EV repairs raise safety concerns, as mechanics work on high-voltage systems that pose a risk of electric shock. Reason number 4. Collisions often result in total losses. While electric cars may have fewer parts than their ICE counterparts, that's not necessarily a benefit. Collisions provide a perfect example. Even minor accidents can cause significant problems, particularly when it comes to the battery design and its housing. A tiny defect may necessitate a complete replacement due to safety concerns. Electric cars feature different structural designs compared to ICE vehicles, especially when it comes to battery housings. In most cases, after a collision, it's impossible to repair just the affected part. More often than not, the entire housing, or even the battery, needs to be replaced. Even relatively minor collisions can lead to critical damage to major electronic components. In such situations, repairs are usually not an option. Replacements are the only way forward. Considering the constant lack of spare parts in the EV world, expensive repairs are just part of the problem. The other issue is that these repairs often take weeks, making the whole process not just costly, but lengthy and frustrating. Insurance companies are well aware of these issues. Instead of spending a fortune on repairs, they often choose to write off the vehicle. Even a relatively minor crash that damages the battery or another critical component can result in the vehicle being considered a total loss. This, in turn, leads to higher insurance premiums for electric vehicles. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more content like this. Now let's explore reason number 3. Damaged Teslas quickly become commodity cars. Given our discussion, it's not surprising that many damaged Teslas are relegated to the status of commodity cars. Lee Carter from Scrap Life Lee once shared a video showcasing a vast junkyard teeming with damaged Teslas. The video reveals that most of these cars have only minor damage. In the case of ICE vehicles, such damage would typically be repaired within a few days at a reasonable cost, allowing owners to continue using their vehicles without interruption. However, the situation is quite different for Teslas. High repair costs, a shortage of spare parts, and a general lack of support from Tesla for its customers mean that many owners opt to sell their vehicles for the scrap value of the battery. Interestingly, there seems to be little interest in purchasing these damaged EVs for repair, leading them to become commodity vehicles. Given the limited potential for their use as commodities, we fear that in 5 or 10 years, we may treat used cars in the same way we treat used iPhones or other consumer electronics devices. Only time will reveal the truth of this prediction. Reason number 2. The complexity of EVs makes them difficult to repair. We've already touched on the sky-high repair costs associated with EVs, but body damage and typical mechanical issues are just the tip of the iceberg. Electric cars require constant software updates. This software controls a myriad of systems, including batteries, motors, regenerative braking, driver assist features, and more. These systems need regular updates, and unfortunately, on-the-fly updates haven't been particularly effective. Owners often have to visit dealerships to rectify software bugs, causing headaches for professionals who are forced to wait for feedback from the manufacturer to solve the issues. While EVs are still new and under warranty, we can only speculate about the cost of these services once the warranty expires. This could be a golden opportunity for dealers to compensate for the lack of regular maintenance required by internal combustion cars. The story doesn't end with software updates. Electric cars are complex machines with tightly integrated systems. For instance, the battery management system interacts with the powertrain to maintain energy flow and ensure that the battery operates within safe limits. It also communicates with the onboard computer, which controls various other functions based on inputs from numerous sensors and systems. In such a complex system, even a minor flaw can cause significant problems. Just look at the issues that Chevy Blazer EV owners have been facing lately due to Chevy's inability to optimize its software. Ensuring compatibility and seamless communication between different systems has been a significant challenge for many EV makers. We're uncertain about the future, especially after several software and firmware updates. Will a trained professional from your local dealership be able to easily diagnose a problem in such a complex system? It's going to be a tough task. Reason number 1, the unreliability of EVs. Despite the high repair costs associated with EVs, their reliability should, in theory, offset these expenses due to their simpler design compared to ICE vehicles. However, as a nascent technology, EVs still require refinement, and recent surveys indicate that they present more issues than their gasoline-powered counterparts. Consumer Reports' extensive survey of over 330,000 vehicles manufactured between 2000 and 2024 revealed that EVs have 80% more reliability problems than gasoline cars. The issues range widely, with the most common complaints concerning electric drive motors and charging components, highlighting the complexity of EVs. Legacy car makers have struggled with this new technology, proving less reliable than Tesla, which ranks near average among all car manufacturers. In addition to issues with batteries and other critical EV components, owners face infrastructural challenges, including a lack of public chargers and frequent malfunctions. This unreliability is a key factor slowing the growth of EVs. However, the survey also showed that hybrids, particularly self-charging models like those produced by Toyota and Honda, exhibit exceptional reliability. These simpler systems are 26% less problematic than gas-only vehicles, contributing to hybrids' rapid growth. They've already surpassed EVs, accounting for over 9% of the market. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of vehicles. Don't forget to subscribe to Highway Herald to stay updated on the latest vehicle updates and upcoming videos. See you next time!